In the 19th century, European imperialists labeled Africa as the Dark Continent, presuming it lacked complex civilizations. When colonial archaeologists discovered evidence to challenge this belief, they often dismissed these findings. Even today, many in the West are unaware of the ancient African civilization of Kush. While enthusiasts often concentrate on well-known North African kingdoms like Egypt and Carthage, there are lesser-known ancient African civilizations that are among the world's oldest and merit greater attention. The Kush, situated adjacent to ancient Egypt, eventually asserted control by placing their pharaohs on the Egyptian throne. Known as Nubia for the Upper Egypt region it occupied, this powerful kingdom played a crucial role in shaping the destiny of ancient Egypt. The term Nubia is still used by many to encompass all ancient African civilizations south of the Sahara, without distinguishing between the various empires that thrived in the region. The Kush civilization, centered in what is now Sudan, became prominent after the Egyptian conquests during the New Kingdom period, around 1550 to 1070 BCE. Their influence reached far, and the Kush would leave a lasting impact on the course of ancient Egyptian history. Before the Egyptian conquests, the Sudan hosted a thriving agrarian civilization centered around the city of Kerma, 2500 to 1500 BCE. Due to perennial tensions, Egypt seized the opportunity to expand southward, conquering the region from Aswan in southern Egypt to Khartoum. As the Egyptian New Kingdom crumbled in the 11th century BCE, the powerful Kush civilization emerged from the chaos, breaking away from Egyptian rule. Despite its independence, Nubia had been deeply influenced by Egyptian culture, leading early colonial archaeologists to overlook the distinction between the two civilizations. The new Kush Kingdom, centered around the capital city of Napata, evolved into a prosperous empire through Nile Valley trade. Recent excavations in Napata have unveiled impressive palaces, tombs, and colossal Egyptian-style statuary, showcasing the grandeur of the once vibrant metropolis. Notably, monumental temples dedicated to the sun god Amun were widespread, underscoring Napata's central role in the cult of sun worship, a legacy retained by the Kush even after their separation from Egypt. The contact with Egypt not only enriched the Kush materially, but also linguistically. The Kush adopted hieroglyphics from Egypt, eventually developing their own cursive script known as Meroitic. This unique language represents one of the earliest written forms among ancient African civilizations, with ongoing discoveries of tablets covered in Meroitic script. In 2018, the largest ever treasure trove of such texts was unearthed at Sedinga in Sudan, providing a wealth of information about Kush history. Though scholars are still grappling with the challenges of translating this ancient language, significant progress has been made in recent years, promising further revelations about the rich history of the Kush civilization. In the 8th century BCE, the tables turned as the Kush sought to reclaim dominance over Egypt during a civil war between Upper and Lower Egypt. King Kashta of Kush declared himself Egypt's ruler and established the 25th dynasty. Despite Kashta's immediate death, his son Paya marched into Egypt with a formidable force, seizing the throne as pharaoh. Paya and his successors would govern an extensive territory, stretching almost the entire length of the Nile, maintaining control over Egypt for about a century. During their rule, the Kushite pharaohs initiated substantial construction projects across Egypt and Sudan, displaying a particular penchant for pyramid building. Remarkably, Sudan now boasts more pyramids than Egypt. Though many fell victim to the 19th century actions of an Italian explorer seeking treasure, hundreds remain standing today. Taharqa, the last and most significant Kush pharaoh, enjoyed a prosperous reign, even earning a mention in the Hebrew Bible. He employed his army to support Jewish allies against the Assyrians. However, Taharqa's military prowess couldn't shield his Egyptian territories from a massive Assyrian assault in the 660 BCE, leading to their loss. In the 1st century BCE, Egypt became part of the Roman Empire, while the Kush retained control over their lands in Sudan, possibly acting as a client state to Rome briefly. The Kush maintained a lucrative iron trade with the Romans, particularly during the late period when their capital city, Meroë, seemed to be a hub of extensive iron production. Recent excavations around Meroë have uncovered significant evidence, including thick soot-encrusted sand, indicating the scale of iron manufacturing in the region. While the Kushites coexisted peacefully with the Romans for many years, there was a period when they tested the strength of their new northern neighbors. In the 1st century BCE, the Kush initiated a conflict with Rome, with historical sources noting the Kush as the aggressors. According to the Greek writer Strabo, a fearsome Candace, a Kush queen with only one eye, led the invasion. Despite initial successes, such as advancing into Aswan and decapitating statues of Emperor Augustus, the Kush were ultimately unsuccessful. A recovered head of one such statue, found in Sudan in the early 20th century, is now displayed in the British Museum. In response, the Romans, reinforced by a massive army, launched a full-scale assault on Kush lands to quell further hostilities. Following this conflict, the Romans avoided further engagement with the Kush, who remained a formidable, untouchable presence on Rome's borders until their disappearance in the 4th century CE.